Well, it is a conversation we hoped we'd never have 15 years ago when we lost Ben. The situation has got worse. Knife crime is up 46% across the country over the last 10 years. Maybe 15 years ago, we would have thought knife crime was a preserve of big cities. But what we see now is it is spreading to small provincial towns. We're seeing, rises in knife crime right across the country. 40 of the 42 police forces in the last 10 years are showing an increase in knife crime. So it's something that's, it's probably the most pressing issue that's facing this country today.
How do you persuade, Patrick, young men, I appreciate what you say, it's spread beyond our inner cities, but how do you persuade young men in gangs it's not cool to carry a knife?
Well, that's clearly not an easy conversation to have. But what we find is using people with lived experience is obviously a good way of reaching young people, people who've from that locality who've been in the same position, sometimes made poor choices, recognized they've made poor choices, and then have come along to work with other young people to try and move them away and not make the mistakes that they made. Knife Crime Awareness Week this week is a really important week. We're talking about Operation Sceptre. The police carry a huge burden in tackling this issue. Predominantly it is a law and order issue, but there's a role for everybody to play here. You mentioned in the previous piece about, everybody playing their part by buying British in terms of preserving British farming, but also in terms of tackling knife crime. We all have a responsibility to talk to the young people in our care about this issue. And, we can be inspiring and we can have those difficult conversations and help young people in our care make better decisions to stay safe. And that's where this starts. Sorry.
No, Patrick, I was going to say, we read sometimes about young men being murdered with machetes. Where on earth are they buying machetes, and why are they? I'm not one for restricting people's rights, but why are machetes easily available on sale?
Well, I can't answer why they're so easily available on sale. I've been campaigning for quite some time to restrict their sale. Not only are they easy to purchase, they're cheap. You can buy a zombie knife or machete for probably £20 or £30. Nice. You could, with a couple of clicks on the internet, you can buy one of these grotesque knives and have them delivered to your door the next day. The government have gone out to consultation to ban these weapons. We are fully supportive of that. I just fear that the process is going to take too long to get through Parliament.
Yeah, Patrick, why do we need a consultation? It's horrible. They're not necessary. They are being used by young men to kill each other. Just ban them.
If we could, I would absolutely be delighted to do that. Unfortunately, the processes we have to go through are sometimes long and extended. Look at the online harms bill. We're all concerned about what young people see online. And yet, what are we, 4 or 5 years? That bill has been inching its way through Parliament. It's one of the big frustrations I have. And we don't need a machete in the inner city. You don't need, and in fact, I'm thinking in farming, there are plenty of other tools you can use to do those jobs these days. I can see no reason why in this country you need to buy a machete.